Hey there, everyone. This is Ken with MinnoTank, and I have Craig Doriot, the founder of Dodles, here with me today. We're going to have a quick Founder 5, where we ask 5 questions on MinnoTank about the pitch they just presented. So, Craig, thank you very much for joining us on MinnoTank today.
Thank you, Ken.
All right, Craig, so the very first question, talk to me about the digital animation market. So imagine, I'm an investor who looks at the tech space quite often. I might not necessarily know a lot about digital animation. Talk to me about this market and who plays in it.
Yeah, so digital animation, it's hard to really define what's digital animation in terms of a market size. As you can imagine, it includes all of digital advertisements that's related to animation, but then it also includes things like messaging and GIFs and memes. So it's really hard to even quantify that and to segregate what advertisement is what. But some of the trends that you see is the size of the animation industry itself is a $250 billion market when you think of Disney and Pixar. And then also just the advertisement market and how it's becoming more and more animated. That's a $30 billion market and growing. So that gives you a little bit of a feel for where it's at.
Understood. And, when we look at this kind of market, we say Pixar's included, but also think about how often you see a commercial moving away from trying to be using humans. Just because we're so PC these days, that it works much better to just add animation. It's much more attractive. And there's just a lot of space for this. So I can definitely see an amazing, it's a very large market here. All right. So next question. So Craig, you mentioned me a little bit before your pitch, you talked to me a little bit about the strategic partnerships you're building. Talk to me about those partnerships and how those are going to affect Dodles going forward.
Yeah, and one of the exciting things about a platform like ours is that a lot of these device manufacturers and social media giants, they're looking for the latest and greatest tools to give their users. They're trying to compete with the other tech giants, and they need to be on the cutting edge of those pieces. And oftentimes that innovation doesn't happen from within the organization. So we've actually been approached, even in the last few weeks, by some of the biggest top 10 companies from the biggest device manufacturers, some of the biggest social players. So yeah, we see that as a continuing trend as we get closer to our launch.
Awesome. And we know that there's companies like Giphy out there that literally just, amass GIFs together, because that's a really big aspect of communication these days. We want something other than just text and regular pictures. So animation plays perfectly in there. So let me go on to the next question, your moat. So talk to me about your moat and what kind of moat is Dodles building?
Yeah, I think just comparing us to Giphy was a good example of how do we differentiate ourselves from the competition and how do we create that barrier. Once we go live with this marketplace, I think there's going to be a big run by competitors. They're going to want to do something similar. And so how we've really positioned ourselves to withstand that attack is first through our patents. We've invented a better process for animation that creates animation a lot faster. We've patented that, and that gives us a big strength for them to overcome, because animation is just built up over the years, and so we've simplified that. The second area that we've focused on is building it with a really good tech stack, so we can support future gaming development, 2D, 3D physics. So we have a real strong tech base to go forward from.
I think that's often discounted. Sometimes whenever you talk to a startup and they say, what tech stack are you on? It's quite significant. It can tell you a lot about how much they plan to remake this after their MVP or grow forward. So it's paramount whenever you're appraising an investment to understand the tech stack and understand how much thought has gone into the growth and scaling of that model. All right, so 2 more questions and just about a minute and a half left. So past exits. So Craig, I know that you've had some past exits under your belt. Can you touch quickly on those, please? Talk us about a little bit of your experience.
Sure. My first one I was in college. I started a company called Youppi. It had $150 million invested. Comcast, Sony were players in that. That company eventually sold to Microsoft. That was during the dot-com crash. Also, another company, Loan Sifter, is my most recent exit. That sold for $15 million in 2013.
Okay, awesome. So double exited founder, not bad. All right, in our last minute, talk to me about your current round, what you're raising, your investors, and who are you looking to meet? What kind of investors do you want to talk to?
Yeah, so the investors this round, we basically have had a local businessman put in the first $200,000. We had a banker that came in, a commercial banker. He's also now our CFO, and he came in with $100,000 in April. And we're pretty much wrapping up another $116,000 from another local banker.
Fantastic. So who are you looking to meet in the MinnoTank network? If we have investors who are tuning in or venture capitalists who want to get in contact with you, who can add value to your company on the investment aspect?
Yeah, on the value add, obviously we're looking for strategic partnerships. Anybody in the art or animation industry would be just an ideal partner for us. Certainly Silicon Valley is a lot of the strategic relationship we're building now. So anyone from the big tech companies, those are all ideal for us.
Fantastic. Okay, Craig Doriot, thank you very much. That is Craig Doriot, the founder of Dodles. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Ken.
All right, see ya.
Bye.